Good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. We are live. Yes, we are live here at Odd Rhythm Spitting Seeds Edition. I'm your host, Jamie. And we got Donovan on the other side. And we got Eli back for another show.
That's right. I'm here.
Yippee!
Here. Oh man. You said afternoon. I was
Get-
confused. You said afternoon. It's evening, and you know what that means.
Uh-oh.
It's time for some of the Knob Creek rye whiskey. Whiskey.
I think Eli needed to stay off that rye just a smudge. I think it deflects your ability to analyze things.
Brock Lesnar loves rye whiskey. It's good enough for him. It's good enough for me.
Right? Oh, good gravy. Oh, so there's a lot going on. I can't believe it. We got a lot of freaking news going on here. With a lot of freaking pictures, man. God, I am not happy. I am not happy with this at all. So yesterday we had deGrom going out with, maybe a little wrist injury. He had his 4 out. He did all right. He did all right though. Burnes pectoral probably strain. That's uncommon with him. So I was kind of surprised to see him in the news. And last but not least, Jeffery Springs. I saw him go to the IL today finally, and then we get big news: Tommy John surgery. It's like, fuck. That is
that's a blow.
Hits keep coming, Jay.
right?
Hits keep coming.
Yeah. Well, I was honestly, I was kind of.
I'm going to talk about Burnes. I'm going to talk about Burnes here later. When we get into some of the players. I mean, he was tearing it up. I mean, that sucks. I know Ace had World Series ambitions, so I don't know if they're going to make a deal or call somebody up. But I mean, Springs was solid rotational guy. So just see what happens here. But yeah, we were talking last week about all the injuries when Chad was on. There's like 3 injuries while we were streaming. Kept bringing them up. So
yeah, it was.
Coming.
They do keep coming. Yeah. I was just gonna say, so with Jeffery Springs, I guess if you got him in, Dynasty or Keepers League, I guess Donovan, what would you do? Would you hold him? I guess in those type of leagues.
Yeah, you have to in those deeper dynasties and things of that nature. Your keeper leagues, it really depends. There's so many different variations of keeper leagues, so it's hard to say. Like I have a 10-team keeper or a 10-man keeper league. Tommy John, man, like he's just going to start ramping up this time next year. So I don't know. I throw him back, and then they're not. In like a 10-team keeper, I got to let him go or trade him to somebody who's rebuilding or something. But
yeah,
the full dynasties where you keep everybody, yeah, he's worth the keep. He was pitching phenomenal. So
yeah. Other than that, I know I have him in a couple, like 1 or 2 leagues, and I think they were in my smaller leagues. Luckily, I was able to actually get Tajay. So I actually got him in 1 league. So I actually picked him up last night, and I'm like, is he still out there? Because I was kind of like, eh. So lucky I was able to get him, but now I'm kind of screwed in another league. So I'm kind of I'm gonna be doing the waiver wire thing. So hopefully somebody else kind of comes up that kind of stays up. So, but yeah, other than that, yeah, Burnes, I don't think it's too much to worry about with him, and hopefully deGrom. Hopefully it's nothing major with his wrist.
It's all the rotation he's putting on his balls. That's all.
Well, I was actually looking. I mean, if you think about what he was pitching last night, I mean, he was throwing some strikers last night. I mean, he had threw 200-mile-an-hour balls, 2 freaking 99-mile-an-hour balls. I mean, it's some little strain of your wrist a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris Bubik was a big fab pickup this week, and he's out with an strained arm, so that's not a good sign. John Gray, forearm, that's always scary. Who else? Yeah, Woodruff with a shoulder.
Yeah,
Jordan Romano with his ribs. Scherzer with his shoulder. Springs, elbow. Oh, it's just I'm scrolling through and it's just endless.
It seems like it.
It's terrible.
I said something about maybe we
Well,
should put all these pitchers.
I could insert something. You know how these guys can get some wrist and some forearm strength, so they're not having all these injuries. If you catch the gist of what I'm doing here,
Uh,
yeah, man, oh man,
but
you
I
have
was
any
just
more?
saying.
It's
I
it's
was
a whole scroll of injuries. That's the whole damn scroll. That should be my scroll for next week. It's nothing but injuries.
Yeah, and that's just the pitchers.
yeah,
I don't even want to start with the bats, man.
right.
It's
Well,
it's a war zone out there right now.
it is. I know I've struggled a little bit with some batters going down and some pitchers as well. And
Yep.
I've been waiting for Robbie Ray to come back, so hopefully he comes back soon enough because I have him in my in the Rogan 20 man, which is surprisingly I'm in first place.
Not for long.
Not for long,
I'm
and
in
we'll see.
third, so
Yeah, well,
Right, right.
here's the funny thing. So I'm playing Eli in the 20 our league, and I'm playing you in the
10
points
team.
league. So I'm
That's why he's in the middle. That's why he's the monkey in the middle this week. We're both gonna slap him around. You're gonna lose this way, and you're gonna lose that way.
well,
Especially, let me talk about my matchup real quick because I know you boys want to get into some other stuff, but 19-0. I jumped right back into it. I was in 19th place. I jumped up to 6th. Okay, that's like winning a NASCAR race and jumping up 15 points. So I mean that was beat City. Had to mention that. Okay, so I would understand if it was a ghost team, but I mean this guy had he had players going. I mean either he's incompetent or what. He's in last place, but he was what's his name? Dinger Central. Yeah. Gone.
Ooh,
there's your season. Still waiting for the ball to land. Yeah, you're done. I was the prodigy this week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, it's a sad thing.
Jamie's going to be tough in this 20-man league. Jay's going to be tough this week. So, I
well,
might come
hopefully,
back
because I need a big rebound because I went 0-16. So, I don't know what happened. It's really hurt. So I need a big nice outing here. So, yeah, was not pretty at all. I was like, what? Kept seeing it falling and falling. So I'm like, dude, this is bad. So yeah, I'm gonna have to doing some revamping here this upcoming week. That's for dang sure. I don't need another freaking 0 categories. Yeah, that was kind of a out. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. So I think this is my first.
Yeah, it's the big squadouche.
Yeah, that's
right.
But hey, all I can say for now is I'm actually winning, or I'm actually in first place in the league I want to be first place in. But I mean, I want to be in first place in in the invitational as well. But that's kind of a rocky start right now. It is. Some other
It's all
quick
I got.
notes.
It's all I got to cling on to. You know what? I only have one league, boys. That's all I have.
Yeah. So just some quick notes. Some exit velo. Christian Yelich had 113. Brian Reynolds had 112. They both had homers yesterday. Jack Suwinski had a 461-yard freaking homer. Josh Jung had a 441-yard ball to the
foot. We're in baseball. It's feet.
Foot, whichever foot, whatever.
Great education.
Right?
If you want me to do the calculation, I can get it down to yards for you, but we'll go feet for now.
Yeah, I want yards.
We'll just say over a football field he hit it.
Yeah, there we go. Sounds great to me. We mentioned you mentioned Jacob deGrom and Rye Stanek. Rye Stanek had 99-yard. He had a toss ball, so that was my fault. And then some quick. David Peterson had 14 swings and misses. Eduardo Rodriguez had 14 swings and misses, and Jesus had 13. So I thought those were some nice. And I know some people were talking about. You were talking about a quick trade that happened. You were talking about beforehand and whatnot, and I just said that I would take Pirates pitcher over Peterson.
Oh, good old Peterson. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the Lance Lynn and David Peterson trade in the Palazzo Discord.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I'd still take a shot on Lance Lynn. He had one nuclear outing, pitched fairly well last outing. So yeah, his numbers are
yep,
down, but it's April, so I'm not too worried. I would take all the years of Lance Lynn and say he's going to be pretty close to normal by the end of the year, as opposed to David Peterson. You're riding that right now, and then come June, he ends up back in the bullpen. So I don't know.
yeah,
That's where I'm at. That's where I'd be at on that trade. But
yeah.
I said my piece.
There you go. And
I
the other
thought
quick news.
I was going to jump in there. I was going to jump in there, Donovan. I was going to say I thought Lance Lynn ate himself out of the league. I didn't even know he was still playing.
They don't call him
So,
Fat Lance for
like
nothing. But hey, that
he's
guy is
Fat Lance.
crazy.
Yeah, that's a big
I
boy.
love him. He's nuts. Man after my own heart.
Is he any bigger than Vogelbeck?
No,
No?
he's not that big.
But it's quick. What do you guys
Lance Lynn
think?
never met a Big Mac he didn't like.
So what do you guys think here, real quick? I see the scene. Hunter Green, 6 years, 53 mil, got an extension with the Reds.
Ooh.
Eli, you should be happy
Yeah,
about that.
no.
One.
Well, being the resident Reds fan here, I think he's a number 2 at best. Like I think he could be a good number 2. He's not a number, and he's not being paid like a 1. You know what I mean? I know he's still a young guy, still in his first couple of years, but I like the deal. I mean, anytime the Reds can re-sign anybody, I mean it's noteworthy. It's like the Pirates or A's or these small market teams. Anytime you can re-sign anybody with the littlest smidge of talent, it's a win. So.
Yeah.
It's a little less than $9 million a year. It equals out to average per year. So that's not bad at all. I think he can be I think his ERA is always going to hover around between 4 to 4.5. He went 5-13 last year. So I mean, if you can get 11, 12 wins out of the guy like going forward, it's worth it. It's he puts up a decent amount of strikeouts. When we were doing the preseason stuff, that was the guy I brought up. So it's good to see the Reds pay up. So.
Yeah, it's a great signing for the Reds to lock him in now to get 6 years out of him for pennies on a dollar. So, I do agree. I think he'll be the 2 at best. But guys got good stuff. It's a really tough ballpark to pitch in. There's a lot of weather there. It's cold, small park, so he has a lot of things going against him, but I mean, he's a 12 strikeouts per 9 type guy. So he's got all the stuff he needs. But it's a really good signing overall. It's something they needed to do as an organization, because that whole organization, since they lost Marge Schott, has been in turmoil. But even then,
I want to cry myself to sleep. You understand, Donovan? It's bad. It's bad.
It's good.
Bad. They haven't made there was that stupid whatever the hell that was like a couple years ago with the COVID stuff. 18 playoff, 16-team playoff. Technically the Reds made it there, but I don't consider that. In 10 years since we've been in the playoffs. I mean, this is a bad organization. But I love the signing. I mean, for the money, the years, what kind of stuff he's got. If he can do 160, 165 strikeouts, a season, he's worth, and gets you, like I said, 11, 12 wins, he's worth it. Worth every penny.
Yeah, I had an old Reds playoff T-shirt. I think it was a
1975.
Right? No, I'm not that old. 1990 is 1990, right? Does that sound right?
Yes, last time we won a World Series.
Okay, yeah. So I had a Reds T-shirt. My mom probably got a Goodwill or something, but
Yeah.
It's probably, and that's likely a true story, but I rocked that thing
right
for a
next
while.
to right next to the Ken Griffey and Adam Dunn jerseys.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Well, Barry Larkin, he went through there, right?
Well, did you want to talk about your guy real quick, or do you want to try to get into just recap the
Oh,
Mondays
are
games
you
real
talking
quick?
about old Garrett?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could talk a little Garrett. I am confused. Garrett Mitchell got his first stolen base, not so long ago, but it's just a temperature check on Garrett Mitchell. I have noted on multiple places saying he could be 30-30 this year. He's got the home runs going for him, but I'm very shocked that he doesn't have more stolen bases. And part of it's where he's playing in the lineup and things, but yeah, it's just kind of odd. Overall, though, he's a very good baseball player.
Right.
Good high batting average, and he's doing very well. So they got a lot of moving parts there now. I think Winkler left yesterday, right? I think with
Ooh.
some sort of
Yeah, I'm not sure.
injury. So I mean, he's gonna get guaranteed more playing time. So I don't know. Just a temperature check on Garrett Mitchell. I do think the home runs. He was smashing home runs in the spring training. So that was kind of bizarre, not normal, not his profile. So, but I did go on multiple platforms. I think I said 25-25 on one and 30-30 on another. So hopefully he gets me there. I think there's stolen bases to come yet, but
Yeah.
if he keeps hitting like this, they got to give him the chance.
Well, at least he's doing he's a little better off than what Tovar's doing in
Ezekiel Tovar, yeah,
yeah.
man.
I have I'm kind of in a hard spot. I don't know if I should hold him or just kind of just drop him because yeah, he hasn't really done anything. I don't know. I might hold him a little bit longer. Well, especially in 20 man, I might hold him just a tidbit longer just to see if he kind of gets going. Because other than that, I'm losing batting. I'm losing, you know, I'm losing freaking batting positions, with him not doing anything. So
He's
I
like
don't
that meme with the do something. You poke him with the stick.
know, right? Or no, it's the meme I posted a while back ago. Fantasy value got a big old book output. It's very small.
So for this
Yeah.
segment, I think it'd be great if we actually got a physical thermometer. Because I
Yeah,
moonlight
there
as
we
a
go.
doctor. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but I moonlight as a WebMD doctor. So I think if we get, yep, I'm going to put it in my mouth. We'll get a little sound effect. I think this would get over. I'm loving this temperature check here. We're checking in.
Yeah, we could
Yeah.
check in every week on some guy. We got a list of people we yacked about all preseason.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But I think I'm gonna jump the line here, just like I used to do when I was a kid and when I went to the drinking fountain. I'm gonna jump the line because there's a guy I want to talk about too, and he's not on any of my fantasy teams, but he had a standout. He's been a standout the past week. Jorge Mateo. Oh, I mean, what else can you say? Not a lot of power there, but I mean, the OPS is great for just for the past, just a snapshot. If that was the temperature check, this is the snapshot. So we got the last week, 6 runs, homer. Big thing is the stolen bases, and he'll be in the bottom scroll there. He'll be in the top 5 in the entire majors for stolen bases. But it was a damn good week. And he's not going to get a lot of pub because, like I said, there were guys putting up 3, 4, 5 home runs the last 7 days. So I thought I'd give some love to Mr. Mateo. Orioles are going to be a sleeper this year. Don't sleep on them. I think they can win. I think they can win 85, 90 games. I mean, especially with Springs going down with the Rays. I mean, I know it's a great division. Yankees are gonna be tough, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Orioles won 85, 86 games and maybe found that we're in contention. So he's a big part of this. I think this kid's great.
Yeah, he's been very productive this year. 8 stolen bases total on the year, 3 home runs. So I mean, he's holding his own. He's the number 3 on the ESPN player rater overall. So Acuna is 1, Garrett Cole is 2, and Jorge Mateo is 3. So and then former number 1, Brian Reynolds is right behind him. So I mean, Jorge is, for especially some places, undrafted. We just don't know, and he's kind of one of those guys that you're just so hesitant to draft because you don't think everything's real. Last year he just busted on the scene, but he only batted 221 last year. So we're going to see some regression probably this year. He can't hit 372 all year, but could he be a 280 batter? Probably.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask you that. Can he hit 280, 290? Like, is that more realistic?
So I mean, I'm looking at pull up his stats right now, and he's only had small doses. So it's really unfair to say because he hasn't had that full sample size yet. Last year was his full sample size of 221 batting average. And he had 13 home runs and 35 stolen bases. So this year, he's likely going to have 20 home runs and probably 50 stolen bases. And it just is a matter of, can he keep the bat going? And the first year with San Diego in 22 games, he batted 154. The second year with San Diego in 57 games, he batted 207. So it's not a very good track record. But in 21, when he went to Baltimore, he batted 280. So he is at 32 games, 107 at bats. So there is a chance that he can do it. But last year is the batting averages, I think, is what scared most people off of him this year, saying, the speed is phenomenal. He can do that. But they're just worried about him getting the opportunity to keep doing it.
Yeah,
I think the value he brings with the stolen, because you were saying about 15. I don't mean to cut you off, Jay, but just say that those 15 extra stolen bases from where he had last year or where he might have been projected, because he was probably in that 35, 36 range. That's adding, that's adding another layer to it. So even if he regresses down to even like 250, I mean, it's still take the 50 steals and the 250 and the 15 to 20 homers. I mean, that's,
if I look
for shortstop numbers, I think good.
Yeah, right now.
Go ahead.
Right now, I mean, he's got 12. He's got average of 8 steals right now overall, which is not bad. I mean, he actually went undrafted in our 20-man, and I'm lucky enough to actually. I was told to actually, go out and pick him up. So yeah, I actually picked him up, and now I mean he's got 12 RBIs already. Well, I'm happy with that. I mean if he's going to continue doing this, I mean, why not hold on to him until he pretty much just shits the bed?
Ride him all the way. There's no reason he should be on a waiver wire right now.
Hard.
Ride him.
Giddy up.
Yeah, I actually picked him up somewhere too. Because he's been hitting He's actually been hitting good for being in the ninth place. So I mean, it's.
I think he just got him in that 10-team points league. I think you just picked him up.
Yeah, I picked up somebody because I had to drop somebody. I'm like, well, he's on fire right now, and I'm just gonna kind of I'm gonna ride him because he's been racking up points and base steals, and he's been getting some homers. So I mean, he's already got 3 homers on the year. So I mean, it's looking pretty damn good in my eyes.
Yeah. If you look at Baseball Reference, and this would be terrible if it happened. Baseball Reference has his 162 game average, which is a combination of all of his games that he's played. So he would average out to 12 home runs. Where am I? 12 home runs, 32 stolen bases with a 234 batting average. So I think it's still going to be an up year. He's starting way too hot to suck that bad. But if he starts sucking that bad, he's gone. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Sometimes it's a change in the stance or a better hitting coach. I mean, there's elements too where guys all of a sudden pop. I mean, I remember years ago Jose Batista, and he was a utility scrub, and then he turned into like an MVP candidate, and it wasn't from
Yeah.
they tested him like, hey, it must have been from roids, but it ended up being just a batting change, and it took a couple years, and so I mean, yeah, we can't always just go with the averages, because sometimes a guy I'm about to talk about later in the show, Jalen Hurts. If you went by the averages for Jalen Hurts, he would have been the 17th rated quarterback this year. You know what I mean? Coming into the year, and instead of being MVP candidate, so can't always go with the averages, but obviously they help. But
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I'll take his projected 25 freaking base steals and 45 RBIs, for a nice, decent, average guy who went undrafted. So I mean, I'll take it. Take it all day long. Right? And then, since we're kind of going this way, I want to talk about Brent Rooker. I guess I should be doing a little bit more like
Hooker.
Yeah, yep, Rooker.
You spelled it wrong. That's Hooker.
No, it's Tooker. No, I didn't spell it. I didn't spell it wrong. Come on now, Jesus Christ, you guys are horrible. No, I get kind of been hearing him talk. Like we mentioned before, there's teams that are just bad that actually have decent batters that are actually going to be hitting the balls. So I mean, that's why a lot of times I'll be looking at A's guys. Well, A's guys for sure. Like one of them, Brent Rooker, who's actually been hitting the ball pretty damn good here the last like 4 or 5 days. 12 for 37. 5 runs, 4 homers, freaking no base steals, but 11 RBIs, averaging about 324, slugging pretty damn good. So I'm like, I wish I would have caught not. I try to at least look at I try to do a little research on Yahoo to see who's been kind of hitting well, or who's been hitting streaks kind of every day kind of thing, and whatnot. And that's the right time you want to kind of get them as soon as they kind of get that hot streak. Then you get off them. Brent was actually on a freaking 5-6 day like hot streak there for a little bit, and then I just noticed there's probably 3 days where he didn't hit the ball, and then the next day he actually had a ball hit here. But I know he's one guy I wouldn't mind try having on my team, but he's long gone in deeper leagues. I mean, smaller teams, I'm not sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess you guys would know, like, for Tanner at 12 man, but yeah, definitely not 20. I was looking for him for the 20 man. I was like, nope, not even close.
I actually
that's a lot. I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad. 11 ribbies for a couple. I mean, like 5 days. I mean, that's crazy. Obviously he can't sustain that, but I mean, if he could, if he expands this out to having like a month tear instead of a week tear, then his value just shoots.
Oh yeah, most definitely, and that's why I actually just picked up a guy from Minnesota here. I had to drop somebody. I just picked up a guy from Minnesota who actually has kind of been on a hot streak here a little bit too, and think it was actually in our other league. I actually picked him up. And I'm trying to remember his name offhand. I think it's Taylor that I picked up. Yep. I actually picked up Michael A. Taylor.
Michael A. Taylor. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just
Stephen A. Smith, Michael A. Taylor.
Michael Stephen Taylor. Yeah. Rook, I'm looking right now in my 12-team keeper league. There's some fairly sharp players in there, and Rooker is not rostered. And I would not even entertain him in a 12-team league. I think this is his rise to fame. Another guy with a limited sample size, biggest sample being in 2021, 9 homers, batted 201. Like, he's just a dude, just a guy. And for the record, he's never stolen a base. So he might get one this year.
Maybe.
I'm going to say he's going to get
big
one
enough.
this year. Yeah.
So maybe it's nice. It'll be nice for someone just to have this one base steal out of a guy like
I thought there was a movement to help the hookers. I mean the hookers. I mean the
Rookers. Well, as long as the bases are big enough, I'm pretty sure they can snoop one up in there.
That's what she said.
But I thought that was kind of
Yeah, I almost think
Good.
for like next week, if we roll this back again, to almost like kind of jump the shark a little bit, and because he might that wave might be coming back to the shore. You know what I mean with Rooker, because what Donovan was saying, like he's kind of capped. I mean, this is the ceiling. This is the glass ceiling right here. Maybe we could find the next guy that's going to pop 2 weeks, or maybe each of us could try to find. I think that'd be a good discussion. Like help guys out that are and whatnot, and like, hey, so we almost have our own, like, oh, I see this guy from Baltimore popping, I see this guy from the White Sox popping or whatever. So I think that'd be a good segment. I don't know if
Yeah, I
people
mean,
want to put something in the comment if you're paying attention to us, but I think that'd be kind of cool too. It's like what we think. Hey, who's up next? Like, who's the next guy to be the Brent Rooker for the week or for 2 weeks?
We're for the people. We give you what you want.
Yeah, because I mean that's what
people power. People power.
Right? I mean, that's what I try to do. I mean, I try to look at guys, kind of see where they're hitting at, or if they're actually hitting the ball, or if they're getting some, at least getting a, or even just if they're getting balled out, or just base walks or whatever, just somebody that's actually getting on base, at least they're doing something, guys that are not striking out as much, so I'm pretty sure he's not striking out as much. I was gonna look into see how often he actually was, struck out, but I hadn't dig too far deep into that. But I was gonna see how often he actually was getting struck out, and I don't think it's been very little. I mean, the way he's been kind of hitting right now, I don't think he's been playing against really.
So we'd have to look back after years.
Yeah, I don't think he's been kind of
what is
playing against like top ace.
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing too. He hasn't been facing a real ace guy either, I'm sure. If one look back on that as well.
Well, how can you? Corbin Burnes is hurt. deGrom's hurt.
Right.
Can't face any aces if there is none.
Well, that's right. I mean, Robbie Ray, he's hurt. Freaking McKenzie. He's hurt, and it's who else is going to be the next ace is going to be hurt. And that's the thing about it's like I'm lucky I don't have any Burnes this year.
Start wagering.
Hey, which is next thing we're like, did you just say that on your live stream? Yes, my bad.
I said it.
Right? That's just horrible. Donovan, I think you got one more guy to talk about here.
Oh, Jonah Heim.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess. Jonah Heim was a dark horse to be a top 12 catcher, and I think he's really starting to come around right now. Gets most of the at bats in the Texas lineup. He's their primary catcher. They have what's his name, Mitch Garver down there, but he's primarily DHing. So Jonah Heim is somebody, and catcher's like one of those throwaway positions that if you could find a way to trade for this guy, especially if you get him in a 2-catcher league, I think there's nothing but blue skies ahead for Jonah Heim. I was on him. I have him in a ton of leagues.
Wow. On my bench. He's on my bench. Boys. Let's make a deal. I got Mr. MVP himself, who told Phillies he ain't supplanting him. He ain't not gonna. So if you want him to know, I'm on my bench.
We shall talk.
Donovan's thinking about it. He's like,
He's a pretty important piece of that lineup, and I have him in my TGFBI. I have him in my 12-team keeper. He was very available in later rounds after everybody took their catcher, after everybody took the Real Mutos and the they got all the catchers and all the things, and MJ Melendez, and it was Jonah Heim and Logan O'Hoppe and then Shea Langoliers were my 3 catchers that I could just suck up almost everywhere. So I have like one of those 3 guys on nearly every team. And I just wanted to touch on him because he's doing everything that people said he was going to do. So the people, all the people that said things.
I was actually trying to.
Those are good. Those are good. Is that for the sorry, Jay? But is that for the whole season, Donovan, or is that just for the past?
That's the season.
No, yep, whole season right now. That's the this is the whole season. 2 for 41, 8 runs, 2 homers, 8 RBIs. So yeah, it's all current.
Yeah, I mean I think that's sustainable. That's not like a guy that's it's a shot and he's just playing out of his mind. I think that's sustainable over the course of the season. Maybe the average goes down a little bit, but yes, too. Maybe high 700. I can't see like it dipping off. Like he goes off the ledge or something.
ESPN has him right now at the 8th ranked. So, and you were getting him like as a 17th catcher. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good return compared to.
Oh, yes.
I was actually trying to find him on Fangraphs to see how he panned out on there, but it wasn't giving me anything. So I was like, what the hell? I was not. I was like, what the heck's going on here? Because they have a leaderboard on Fangraphs and everything like that. So I'm not sure why it's not bringing up. Because I hit homers and it wasn't even showing his homers or anything like that, which is crazy. I was like, what? I'm like, this is weird. But yeah, I was gonna look on Yahoo here real quick to see where he was season totals.
while Eli dances.
Right?
Intermission dance is what they kids do at the club. Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't even catch this. I missed it because I don't have any Mitch Garver. But Mitch Garver is on the 10-day IL with a knee thing, so sprained knee. So that gives you even more reason to find Heim right now. I missed the Mitch Garver, which, like I say, I don't have him, so I don't really care about him. No offense, Mitch.
Yeah. Well, this is not what I wanted for some odd reason. Usually you can look at it's always better on my phone for some odd reason. When I try to look at Yahoo on the PC, it always does something different. I'm like, this is not what I want. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
When you do that, you transform into Chad.
Right? Hey now. It's not
just while you're searching, Lance Lynn's statistics show up as 6'5", 250, but I'm not sure.
All players.
Yeah, maybe in 2008.
Is that
Ain't no 250 now. It's a big boy.
Right?
It's okay to say things behind a screen like this.
It looks like it looks like looks like
Alex Wood did the DL.
Yep. Looks like he's 8th overall right now with homers as far as catchers, which is not too shabby. The bad thing is he's only 18% rostered, so. And he's actually available in some of he's actually, if one needs one, I mean, he's available in small 10-man leagues, probably not so much, but maybe a 12-man, you could probably get him in.
It's a steal.
So I mean, if he's hitting freaking a couple of homer, he's got eight RBIs and 2 homers already.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. I got what's his name? I got Mel. He hasn't been hitting too well right now. Melendez,
yeah, he's been struggling.
Yeah.
Another guy I took a lot of places too, but mainly because of that outfield eligibility and my massive plan to always have a catcher going then. So
Yeah.
not really working to my advantage because he isn't doing worth the crap.
Let's see here. Let's see.
You got to rethink that plan to take over the world, Donovan.
I do.
How'd that work out for Pink Green?
Right. I'm trying to see who's all available.
Catchers.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there was any other catchers out there that might be, available. One could probably look at.
Nobody really worth jumping up and down over.
Let's see.
Yeah.
And you're looking in the deep leagues?
Yeah.
Yeah, there isn't much out there.
Yeah, probably not. Small leagues there's probably more out there in small leagues, I'm sure. Most definitely. But I suppose we should probably get on to Donovan's fun little game. He decided.
Oh, is it game time?
Yeah. Yep. It's I think the stream time is a little bit different than the clock time on my computer. But yeah, we can go there.
Clobbering time.
Right. All right. Well, Eli,
I gotta pull up my cheat sheet here.
Yep. Eli, I know. Are you ready for this, Eli?
Dude, I've been waiting all day for this.
Yeah, okay. He's been chomping. He's been on me since 6 o'clock this morning about that. So a little player A or player B. So the first one here is 2 pitchers. One pitcher was drafted in the top 50 of ADP prior to the season, and the other was drafted outside of 150. So player A, and now this is Sunday was about 10% of the season. So I took those statistics and kind of formulated where might they be at the end of the season. So this isn't scientific. This isn't this isn't a projection. Oh boy, he went red on us.
Yeah, he did.
So player A.
Yeah, I got the red shirt.
Player A, roughly, we're looking at.
I'm ready for this.
Player A would be roughly around 181 innings, 170 strikeouts on the year, with a 2.45 ERA and a 105 WHIP. If everything held through from their first 10%. Now, both of these pitchers have pitched 3 starts. I'm going to tell you that too to make it just as even. So, player B, we're looking at probably around 200 innings, 180 strikeouts, 2.88 ERA with a 1.21 WHIP. And that would be, again, as their statistics are now, with a fairly lenient calculation looking forward. So, would you rather player A or player B? And after you select, I will tell you who's who.
All right,
and
Eli.
Where they went.
Eli, you go first.
Player B. Player B, because you get 19 extra innings, 10 extra strikeouts. The ERA is, obviously quite a bit higher, but I mean, that's not going to kill you in head-to-head stuff. WHIP is about a wash. So yeah, to me, it's a no-brainer. It's player B.
I'm going to go with player A, just because the innings might be just a little bit shorter. Ks, strikeouts 10 less, but I like the fact that ERA is a little bit better and the WHIP is very low, because if you're playing it, and it all comes down to, especially if you're playing an ERA or a WHIP, the WHIP's going to be a little bit nicer for you in the long run. You'll win that category with, and hopefully you actually got yourself a nice ace at the beginning of the draft. So I'm going player A.
All right. This is exactly what I would hope would happen. So both players are not. So both players are fairly well known. Does anybody want to guess who either player is before I give you? It's
I'm gonna
pretty much
say-
going to be impossible, but you could try.
Oh,
I'm going to go player B is Verlander.
And I'm gonna say player A is Michael Wacha.
Wow. That's a little deep. Nope. So I did not choose either. So player A is Jordan Montgomery, which he's so and that the exercise here is to show you that, like, if you drafted Jordan Montgomery, and I'm going to use this ADP from Fantasy Pros, was 167. So if you drafted Jordan Montgomery at 167, and say a 12-team league, your pitcher is doing nearly as good, if not better, than player B, who is Shane Bieber.
Oh.
And he was drafted at 44th. So it's just interesting. And it's so early right now that it's almost not fair to do this, especially for pitching.
Oh, most definitely.
But it's just very interesting to think through the first 3 starts that your 13th, 14th round pick in a 12-team league is pitching just as good as your 3rd round pick.
Yeah, that is. I mean, because it all depends on too, like what you need too. I mean, it depends on how you actually drafted everything too, because you're like, because when you get down toward the end, you're just kind of like trying to find guys that will actually get you some strikeouts or some saves, or just minor, not getting a lot of hits, or guys are just downwards. So yeah.
Oh shoot! You know what I didn't do was write down, because Bieber had a start in there, so I forgot to write down where they were on the player rater, but they were all rated. I believe these guys were in the top 50 yet when I did this, so they're both top 50 players. So Bieber returning about the same average of where he was drafted, which is great, which is what you want in your high picks. You want them to return where you picked them.
Yeah.
Because there's little room for growth. There's a lot of room to fail. So if they're hitting their mark, if you draft him number 36 and he's number 36, you won.
Yeah, that's hard to say. It's Shane Shane to Montgomery. I mean, that's the Rays have a better pitching crew to Montgomery. I guess I don't even know what team he's actually on.
He's on the Cardinals.
Yeah. Cardinals. Oh yeah. Whew. Yeah, that's.
He's their only
with 87-year-old Adam Wainwright. Hard to get it done, man. I mean, they'll be right there with the Brewers. I'll tell you, they'll be another sleeper.
Right?
They'll find a way.
All right.
So yeah, that was the first one.
All right.
Now they get a little bit crazy, and it's very, very interesting. So now we'll move on to some batters. I can tell you these would both qualify at shortstop. How about that?
Ooh, shortstop.
So player A, and now again, I'm taking the 10%, the first 10% of the year, and then I just take those statistics and I multiply it times 10. So these numbers are going to be a little wonky. So player A projecting out on that 10% that we went through for the rest of the year would have 40 runs, 10 home runs, 60 RBI, 30 stolen bases, and bat 380. Player B would have 130 runs, 5 home runs, 40 RBI, and 30 stolen bases with a 3.38 batting average. So who would you rather, player A or player B? And again, both of these guys were within, say, 5 on the ESPN player rater of each other.
Ooh.
Which ESPN player rater, I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
It says of everybody playing and this many at bats, our median number is, we'll say for runs, 15. Anybody above 15 gets a positive number. Anybody below 15 gets a negative number. And that's how it averages it out. But
I'll have to check that out sometime. But It is.
I'll go first. I'll go first. Gonna go with player B again, and the reason he doesn't have the power that player A has, obviously, but you score 130 runs, you're obviously getting on base, which I like. So the total bases, you're going to get quite a few. Which I mean, that's more points. That's we're in the business of getting points. Steals are a wash. And yeah, the main difference though is the run. He's getting on base more, which opens up more steal opportunities, more total base opportunities. Just creating more than 40 runs. You're not getting on. I mean, pretty much a homer. That's how you're getting on base, or like a double or something. Like you're not. That's more of a power guy. You get the steals. Don't get me wrong, but I think the sustainability, player B.
I'm going to go with A. I like the average part of it. I mean, both of these guys got to say almost the same base, base stealing. I like the RBIs. They're a little bit more. I mean, a little bit more of a home run because especially in categories. I like the fact that if you're getting a little bit more homers, I mean, the runs, yeah, they might be a little bit less, but I mean, I'm sure whoever it is, you probably got another guy to kind of intermean this player A. So I mean, I like player A just because he's got a little bit more statistics in the not the runs, but RBIs, homers, and the base steals.
Perfect. This is working out great. So I do, Eli. I appreciate your thinking, and you nailed it. That this person is a top of the lineup guy, giving him the most opportunities.
Yeah.
And Jay, I appreciate your take on it. And when I go through my teams, you'll notice a big common theme with mine is balance. And that's what I think you're trying to say there is like, this guy's balanced. Like where player A right now, and again, these are just grossly inaccurate statistics for projections, but 130 runs would scream like one category guy. Normally this guy gets 50 stolen bases, but doesn't do nothing, doesn't do anything anywhere else. But so digging into this now, if you chose player A, and now I'm going to tell you this, how about we guess? So both of these guys are Phillies, and both of these guys can switch between the two positions that they play.
I think player A is Bryson Stott.
I was going to say that for player B. It was Stott.
I
don't know about the other guy.
It's probably Brandon Marsh.
No, it's not Brandon Marsh. He's the outfielder.
Oh, is he? Oh, shit.
So you nailed it, though. Player A is Bryson Stott. And player B is actually Trey Turner.
Oh, no shit, huh?
So this is bizarre. Like I had to do this one. Trey Turner is the number 1 overall ADP in Fantasy Pro.
Yeah. You think power. You don't think 5 home runs when you think Trey Turner.
He doesn't have a home run yet. He does not have a home run.
That's insane.
And so player B, Bryson Stott, who was drafted 279. So like he's a waiver wire ad.
Yeah, more than likely.
They were 3 spots apart in the player rater when I did this on Sunday. So another guy why is so important in the beginning of a year to shop the waiver wire, to just keep grinding on it until you find these guys. And then as soon as Bryson Stott starts failing you ship him off because you have nothing invested in him.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too, is looking at your waiver wire as much as you can, because I mean, next thing you know, there is a guy like Stott, he's been hitting the ball pretty well, and I know I've had him, like especially in my deeper leagues. I mean, I had him off and on a little bit because some of these guys are going to be hot and they're going to get cold, and then you want to find them right when they kind of get that hotness to help you actually get into the playoffs or help you win, especially your title too. I mean, it all plays a part into everything, especially you want to have good batters at the beginning of the year, kind of gets a nice, especially in categories league, you kind of want to get that good hot start, so you got a little cushion, so if you lose a little bit, you're all right. because right, like, I'm like 20, like in my categories, I'm like 24, 27, and 5 or something, one of those two things. So I mean, I got a little bit of cushion. So I mean, and now it's like, okay, now I'm kind of thinking like, well, people are going to be coming for me. So now I got to think of what can I do to keep my guys going, batters in position, kind of keep that league going, kind of thing. So that's where the
Yep,
waiver wire kind of comes into play too.
for sure.
Yep.
Well, good job getting that one. That's awesome.
That was kind of when you said
Where's this
SAT.
cookie? Where's this cookie?
Oh yeah, we gotta do the airmail cookie thing again.
Yep.
I think we got one more, Eli, but you can turn the red off. That's fine.
Yeah. We got one
Oh,
more.
I can't.
Ah.
I can't. I gotta get back into character here. Okay.
Yeah. This one is gonna be kind of like, this one's like really pretty similar. This, because I was looking at him a little bit yesterday. I'm like, dude, this is gonna be interesting because it's like it all comes down to format too. Because I mean, the format you play in and whatnot, that's all gonna come into a factor.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
This one's obviously 60 home runs is a stretch for player A.
And we're talking about and that's a little, Aaron Judge is looking there.
And again, what I did was I took
was
statistics basically through the 10% and multiply by 10. So player A with 110 runs, 60 home runs, 90 RBI, 2 stolen bases. I could tell you that both of these players have 0, so I just gave them 2 because I think everybody in the entire Major League Baseball that plays more than 20 games should steal a base this year.
I would think so.
So I just gave them both 2 and a 255 average. Player B with 110 runs, 30 home runs, 90 RBI, again, 2 stolen bases, but a 322 batting average. So keep in mind with these again that there's 90% of the season, and this like that batting averages are frozen as of they're doing today. So if they did everything the same, this is how they would turn out. So player A or player B.
Ooh, I mean that's kind of interesting. I mean, both of these guys are similar. I'm gonna stick with my theme. I'm gonna go player A.
I'll take player B, and my reasoning is not quite the power. Obviously, RBIs are a wash, and steals are a wash, runs are a wash. So you're not going to get those 30 extra homers, but the average might create base opportunities, for total bases or runs, like other, categories that aren't listed. So, or I guess runs are, but the total bases and walks too. I'll take player B. I think it's a mind trick by Donovan, though. I think he wanted us to think, 60 Aaron Judge. So I think Aaron Judge is player B, and I think player A is Pete Alonso.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm going to tell you right now I should have told you this before. They're both third basemen. So.
Third baseman.
Yeah.
That even puts a wrinkle in everything too. Third baseman kind of hitting 60 homers, and that's very interesting. I'm gonna say Jordan Walker for player A.
Can I phone a friend? I'm done.
You have to guess. So, player A again was I unknowingly put the lower of the ADPs in the A's and the higher of the ADPs in the A's. So player A was drafted 325th overall by Fantasy Pros preseason ADP. And player B was the 22nd overall player. Player A is Patrick Wisdom of the Chubs, and player B is Austin Riley. Yes, Austin. And since I pulled these stats, he hit 2 more home runs, so maybe 60 is accurate. So he's at 8. Austin Riley of the Braves is player B. So again, 2 guys that were very close in the ESPN player rater.
Because the Discord was actually just talking about him too, and You
You
know, I
picked
was
him up, I think.
yeah, I picked him up in points league because I was like, ooh, I'm like, you know, if he's going to be hitting like that, I mean, that's points just coming off the board. You know, I'm just like, dude, that's just why not? You know, I mean, like,
Yep.
yeah, you know, well, shit, last night he actually hit 2 dongs last night, so it's just
Yep.
like, it's like that's a given. It's like, holy crap, you know?
Yep.
I was
He
saying
keeps
it'd
going.
be interesting to see, you know, with the Wisdom kid, like, because they haven't had any bats in Chicago since the almost the World Series team and 16 with Rizzo and Schwarber and those guys since they left, and like I think it'd be cool to see like a resurrection for the Cubs. You know, get some bats
Yeah.
in there, and who knows? You know, Wisdom, if he could hit 50 homers, that'll put him on the map. So
Now he's
Yeah, that's
working
for sure.
hard
more
at it now.
realistic. You know,
Well, hopefully,
45, 50. I think he can definitely get.
yeah, hopefully they can get Christopher Morel back in play there too, because I mean he was a guy I liked last year as well. I mean he had a lot of different positions availability. You know, I like that fact, and I know I think he did all right too. I mean he was a little flaky, but I mean overall, I mean he gave you what you needed to fill in some categories. Let me see if I can find because I think he's still in there. Let's see. Morel.
In where he's in the minors, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I know he's in the minors, but I was gonna see what he did last. I was gonna see what he did
Oh,
last year, because I was curious on what he did last year.
I had him nowhere, so I am.
Let's see here. 2020. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, his OPS was above 700s, most of the year. What it looks like. So I mean, his slugging average was 400. Yeah, I mean, he was slugging 400 most of the year, most of all last year. Which is I was kind of
Yeah.
surprised that they, you know, sent him down because he was one guy that I was looking forward to actually having.
Yeah, you were big on him.
Yeah, I
In
was.
spring training. Yep. And he
Yeah,
got sent down. I saw a tear come out of your eye.
yeah. I think he had at least
Right down
10,
the sunglasses.
right. Looks like he had at least 10 home runs last year.
Someone in prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he had 16 on the year last
Yeah,
year.
it's pretty close. Yeah. Yahoo doesn't have the whole
16 home runs, 47 RBI,
Oh, there we go.
10 stolen bases.
Yeah. So I mean, for a guy that wasn't drafted or going undrafted, you can pick him right off, pick him up right off
Damn good numbers.
Yeah, for for a guy who's pretty much I mean that's why I was like targeting him because he gives you a little base steal, some RBIs and some homers, so I mean a guy a late flyer, especially in deeper leagues. I mean that's why I was actually trying to chase him and next I see him get drafted. I'm like, no. And then I see that he got sent down. So I was like, yes. But overall, I mean, he was one guy. Yeah, he was one guy I was kind of high on this year. I think there was a couple other things you wanted to talk about quick, Eli, and then we have to kind of get this thing on the road, get there wrapped up.
I brought up, I won't, because we know he's injured. We know he's been tearing it up. We know how good he is. But I just mentioned him about a minute ago when I was bringing up the the old sluggers from the Cubs. But Anthony Rizzo, just get one more player in here. Last week he's been tearing it up. He's on my 20-man team, and I've been reaping the benefits of that. Not I don't think the average is sustainable, but I mean the power. I mean 3 homers. Not a steals guy, never will be. But 3 homers, 5 ribbies, OPS. Obviously, it's just he'll have weeks. He's a streaky guy. He'll have weeks like this. There'll be about once a month. There'll be a week like this, and then he'll regress back to hit. He'll hit like 200 and 1 homer for the week. And that'll balance out being like maybe 275 average, 275, 280 if you're lucky. 30, 35 homers. So it'll all work itself out. But that's still damn good numbers. I mean, this Yankee is. I like seeing guys. I like seeing guys that I remember. Like I said, when I was more active 5-6 years ago, I'm like, hell yeah, Anthony Rizzo's still raking. I'm like, hell yeah. So it gets me jazzed. So give some love to Mr. Rizzo there.
For sure.
God dang, the Rangers are killing freaking the Royals 12-2. God. Yeah.
Yeah. They deserve it.
Yep.
Bringing all those fake pictures up and getting us all excited.
Right? Ezekiel Duran strikes out. God dang. Camille strikes out. Foul tip. All right, Eli, you got one more guy?
I think it's time for the book.
Yeah.
No, because I wasn't gonna put up Corbin Burnes because he might as well be dead at least for the next few days. But he might start on Sunday though. I was reading an article on my phone. Yep. So, but yeah, Burnes before he went down, the last 2 starts he had, won both of them. Averaged about 6.5 innings per start there, and ERA was low, like you'd expect. Only one of them was considered a quality start, but who cares? Who cares? They were both quality starts in my eyes, and 11 strikeouts too. So love to Donovan and his Brewers because they are the belle of the ball.
Yeah, the cream of the crop. They rise to the top.
Cream of the crop,
right?
Oh man. You guys have any more baseball stuff?
Well, I guess.
Or do you want me to...
I'll just recap here real quick from Monday's game. Joe Soldier, who had a home run, 2 RBIs. Miami won. Josh Lowe, I actually picked him up here in a league just this morning. He had one homer, 1 RBI. He went 2 for 4. Marcus Semien, 1 for 3. He had 2 runs, 1 homer, 1 RBI, and one base walk, along with Josh Jung, who had a RBI, 3 RBIs, 1 homer. He went 1 for 4. And Ketel Marte, he went for 2 for 4. He had 1 homer, 2 RBIs, and then we had Jack Suwinski, he had 1 for 1 home. It's been a solo home run. Then we had Andrew McCutcheon. He went 2 for 6. Who pretty much had probably a nice day in points leagues. One run, 1 home run, and 1 RBI. Must have been a solo run then probably. And we had Chris Bryant, 3 for 4, 2 runs, 1 homer, 1 RBI, and one base walk. And they lost 3-14. So freaking Pirates went just ape shit. And we had Julio and Cal. They both had homers. Both had 1 RBI. Cal had 1 base. And then Patrick Wisdom, we just talked about him. He went 3 for 5, 2 runs, 2 homers, had 4 RBIs. And then Freddie Freeman and Max Muncy. Yep, they actually both had. Freddie Freeman went 3 for 4. He had 2 runs, 2 homers. He had a double dong too. So yeah, 3 RBIs. Then we had Max Muncy with must have been a solo home run. So I kind of recapped Monday. So yeah, God, not too bad overall.
Dodgers. Speaking of these having a lethal, Dodgers got a lethal offense too. Jesus tits.
Yeah. They can't do any wrong. They bring in all those old boys and just keep mashing. Plug and play. That's
Jason Hayward.
Mookie Betts, I saw something today, is going to play some shortstop now. Like, it's just move guys all over the place. They're not scared of nothing.
Bastards.
Right?
All right.
Whoever it is, I'm not.
He should be.
That's
part of the charm. I blame it. Look, I blame it on the sunglasses. Okay, the sun.
Probably.
They're only like, you're supposed to be 100% UV. Well, they're like 50% UV. He bought the dollars. He brought the dollar store pair, and that's why he can't read so good. But
It's
it's part of the charm.
Dollar
so.
General. Yeah, nothing better than a George Stoller.
That's where Chad stopped. That's where Chad shops. Sorry, I confused the Jamie's a little higher class than that.
I try to be.
God, speaking of money, speaking of people that just got paid money, the Book of Eli segment, it's back by popular demand, and Jalen Hurts just got the largest contract in the history of the NFL. I can't believe it. Nobody can believe it. I wish Chad was on here so he could chime in, because we made a trade last year where I stupidly sent Kyler Murray over to his team in our 20-man league, or 16-man. Sorry, I sent him Murray and some other stuff for, I sent him Jalen Hurts and some other stuff for Kyler Murray and some other stuff. And I'll never live it down, because Jalen Hurts had a damn MVP caliber season. Good in the locker room, good leader, stats. I mean, they've all got passing yards, passing touchdowns, rating, completion percentage. Everything is going this way. I don't see, as hard as the guy works, and as long as he stay healthy, which he should. A lot of these mobile guys, they're not built. He's built a little bit different. Like Lamar's, he's skinny and fragile, and Kyler's tiny, and some of these other mobile guys I don't trust as much. I love this. I love this deal. And the way they were working it out is basically it's 6 years, $260 million. So he'll be making about like 4.5 for 2023, and then beyond that, it'll be 51 million per year on average. So over the course of the deal, it works out to like 43 million, which puts him right in that ballpark with where he should be. A little bit like Matt Stafford. When Matt Stafford's healthy, he's a proven winning quarterback. So Stafford, a little bit less than Mahomes, kind of in that tier, a little bit above Derek Carr and Daniel Jones, obviously, who just got paid. So I love this deal. I think it's great. You lock Hurts up. I think the Eagles, during his, at least this contract run, these 6 years, I think the Eagles get at least one Super Bowl. They went toe to toe with the Chiefs. They could have won that game. And I'm never going to doubt. I was a doubter of Jalen Hurts going back to even this time last year. Never gonna doubt this guy again. He's beast mode. So just gave a shout out to him. And speaking of guarantee money, Lamar, I'm speaking to you. Yep, talking to you, Lamar Jackson. You ain't getting a fully guaranteed deal, because this guy's better than you are. I mean, let's just face Jalen Hurts is better than Lamar Jackson at this point. There's no argument there. And he didn't get a fully guaranteed deal. Patrick Mahomes didn't get a fully guaranteed deal. So what the hell makes you think you will? So
he just paved the way. Yep.
Hurts. And the book is closed. It's like that.
That was a good take. I was fully in on Hurts, and then I thought I traded him at his peak, and boy, was I wrong. I got some good return on him in a keeper league, so I'm not crying, but and I'm not a keep your quarterback guy, which is why I dealt him. But I picked him up for nothing. I rode him hard, put him away wet, and I got some good stuff in return, so it's not a total loss. But man, I kind of wish I would have kept him after last year. He turned her up another notch. It's awesome to see. That's really good for the NFL. It's really good for the Eagles. And I hate the Eagles. 4th and 25 will long burn me as a Packer fan. So, but good for him. Good for them.
still cringing about that all these years later.
Oh my God. Donovan frickin' McNabb.
Right.
What a punk. I almost changed my name because of that.
No, here's a debate quick before we get off here. Jalen Hurts or Donovan McNabb?
Ooh.
Prime Donovan McNabb. Right now, Jalen Hurts. I'll say it on camera. I would take Jalen Hurts right now. I remember. I mean, I grew up watching Donovan McNabb. I think Jalen Hurts' peak is beyond anything Donovan McNabb can do. And Donovan was mobile. He was fairly accurate. Put up decent. He didn't have the touchdown passes. But I mean, Jalen, when you combine the cumulative touchdowns, the passing with the rushing, he had 35 last year. I think going forward, that's kind of the standard. I think as long as he doesn't get hurt, he can definitely do 35 combined touchdowns a season. I think that's very attainable. But I would take peak Jalen Hurts, we might not even reached it yet. I mean, he might put up 40 passing touchdowns next year. Who knows? But I would take Jalen Hurts over Donovan McNabb.
I think you're right, and it's tough to say because McNabb had the history, right? And Hurts is still writing it, and he might run out of paper. There's so much history for him to write yet. It's probably going to end up being Hurts. I think you're 100% correct.
Yeah, I mean, Hurts is. I mean, if you think about it now, football then when Donovan McNabb was playing to what football is now, way a lot different. Games a little bit faster paced. Wide receivers are a lot quicker. You want quarterbacks are a little bit quicker with their judgments. So I mean, yeah, there's a lot more going on, to what it is now. So I mean, if you think about it now, our QBs are 10 times smarter. They actually stay in they're doing a lot more college stuff now. So I mean, college is almost helps them kind of get ready for the NFL. So I mean, a lot of that actually comes into play because I mean, if a guy's not doing well, I mean, they're not going to be drafted if they make poor decisions. So I mean, a lot of that does come into play.
Yeah, and I saw on a scroll. I just wanted to bring up that Hurts better watch his back because there's another QB coming for him now that Allen Robinson is in Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett's just going to have a phenomenal year now. Allen freaking Robinson. I can't believe that's even the only reason that's a headline is because nothing else happened today.
That's why some of the people that watch the typical Tuesday nights are probably like, oh, isn't the baseball? No, guys, there is literally nothing going on in the NFL right now. And I love jumping on with these guys, and I'm getting more back into the flow of baseball. I mean, this is great. We're going to run, until at least the NFL draft. I mean, I love doing this. This is great. If we can still do the same night. But yeah, there is literally nothing. This is the only – you have my promise right here. This is the only mention of Allen Robinson there's going to be on the scroll for the rest of his career.
That's it.
Will not happen. Will not happen.
Oh, my God.
That is bad. This guy might get cut in training camp. That's how bad it's been in the last couple of years.
I love when the chat room blows up in some of those leagues about that. I'm like, oh, my God. You go fight over him. Spend all your fab money. Spend everything you got. Because, my God, if you think that's going to work with Kenny Smallhands out there, oh, my God, it's terrible. It's
awesome. Yeah. Damn.
Well,
Freiermuth is the guy.
Yeah.
They can trade for anybody, but Freiermuth, him and old George himself.
Georgie.
I think. I think.
To wrap it up.
Yeah, pretty that, and I think. I know there were some people that say they weren't able to chat on the Yahoo stream. I think they should be able to now, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, I'll have to go back and double check all that because I don't know. I was tinkering around a little bit this morning, and I don't think I changed anything for people not to be able to comment. So yeah, it's kind of weird. But
sorry about that.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming around, and sorry we couldn't.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, thanks for listening. You were silenced tonight, though. Quiet.
Shush.
Yes.
Hopefully, we get that fixed for.
Yeah. That was weird. I'm not sure. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, guys. Thanks for everybody joining in, or at least all the viewerships. Make sure you. Oh crap! He just bounced out.
I'm somewhere around here. I don't know what happened.
I'm
in the ether.
Body voice.
Off with his head.
Yeah, real quickly, because I forgot to make sure you guys join our Discord. The link is actually in the description and in the comment section as well. And the other part is
what a backup.
Yeah, there you go. Eli, where else can they catch us real quick?
Yes. I'm glad you asked. We're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're taking over the globe. Donovan's taking over the fantasy baseball world. We're, as a whole collective team, we're taking over the pod world, taking over the casting. And check us out there. And if you missed some of the stream, because these are long streams, hell, we don't even pay attention to each other half the time. We just kind of, especially me, my ADD kicks in, so I just bounce around and shit. But so if you missed any of the hour, whatever it's going to be, hour 20, hour 25 stream, go back on Spotify, YouTube, and check us out.
Yeah, and make sure you like and subscribe, and hit that bell for next time you want to, notice when we go live. So yeah, if you have any comments, or even questions, man, join our Discord. Next time we go live, hey, jump in that comment section. I mean, it's always a little better when there's so many commenting. That makes it a little bit more fun. So,
gives us stuff to bounce off of. Yep.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And the other thing too is we have Twitter now too. So I mean, at Auto Rhythm Fan, and make sure you.
We have a blue check mark.
No, not yet.
No. So, and the reason is Out of Rhythm is actually Elon Musk's handle right now. So, if you type in Out of Rhythm, you get Elon Musk. So be careful. We might get banned altogether. So.
Right? Oh no!
Spaceman's coming for us.
Shoot our ass up with a rocket.
Yeah. But yeah, just make sure you follow Donovan at Spitting Seeds BB as well on Twitter, and he's got his Spitting Seeds community on Discord as well. So yes, there's a lot of Discords, a lot of Twitters, and just all around a lot of stuff.
Yeah. We'll get you where you need to be, in all the places and all the things, so we could talk.
Yes.
And I'll fix my camera because I don't know what the heck happened.
You broke it. That's what you did.
Now I got shiny lights everywhere.
Yeah. All right, guys. From Auto Rhythm, I'm Jamie. That's Eli. That's Donovan. We're out of here.
Later.